But freedom doesn't come free.
No! Sweet liberty! No!
Look familiar?
Scenes like these are happening all over the galaxy. You could be next. That is, unless you make the most important decision of your life. Prove to yourself that you have the strength and courage to be free. Join the Helldivers.
Become a part of an elite peacekeeping force. Rah!
Hey guys, welcome to Imperial Forge Cosplay. Today, I'll be showing you how I made the Helldivers Trailblazer Scout Helmet. So, with all the projects, you just gotta start with the files. So, I got the files from Thingiverse. I'm gonna post them in the link in the description if you want to follow along and make this yourself. It was a super fun project, and I would recommend getting a 3D printer to anyone who doesn't have one and is into this type of stuff. The print itself took 31 hours and about 1 roll of filament. I took most of the supports off screen, so that's unfortunate for you, but it's essentially just what I'm about to do here. Peeling and peeling. You just really got to make sure that you're not breaking the print itself, which anybody who's had a 3D printer has probably run into this problem before, breaking the print and not the supports. I then took it out for a light sand. This sand is not really to take down all of the layer lines, just to get them smooth enough that I didn't have to do a ton of work later. It really helps in the long run. It's very tedious and I don't like it, especially getting in all the weird grooves and cracks and stuff. But I've discovered it usually is worth it. I'm going over it with like I think 80 grit sandpaper on a mouse sander, which did the job just fine. This stuff is Bondo. I would be genuinely surprised if you've watched cosplay videos and never heard of Bondo. Literally everybody uses this stuff. I like it, but the only downside I've seen to it is it shrinks just a little bit. So when applying it, I usually like to apply it heavy enough that it fills in all the cracks, but I just have to account for the fact that it shrinks. So I usually have to do 2 or sometimes 3 layers of this stuff after it's dried. And it takes about 2 hours to dry, so
2 hours later.
next, this stuff is a little bit less known in the cosplay community, but it's water putty. I usually apply it a little bit thicker than it recommends, but it really just depends on how much water you add. It hardens up in about 45 minutes, and I don't think it's toxic. Hopefully not, because I'm using my finger. But essentially, I will just drip this on and rub it all over the helmet. This stuff is like the thicker version of filler primer, and so it really gets into all of those teeny tiny little cracks that I wouldn't have got with a sander. I could have got it with a sander, but it just, speeds up the process just a lot. And it dries fast too, so that is very helpful. Like 45 minutes if you put it in front of a fan. Then I went over the Bondo and the water putty with more sandpaper. I think I'm using 120 grit sandpaper here, so not as aggressive as the first time around, but still aggressive enough to take everything down. You can really start to see here it's getting smoother, and the parts where the water putty and the Bondo are thickest is where it's really needs help. Now, this stuff again, if you've been watching videos like this and you haven't heard of 2-in-1 filler primer, I'd also be surprised. It's literally just thick spray paint is what it is. It goes in and fills in all the teeny tiny like sand marks, and it really just essentially gives you one full color of the helmet, and so it ensures that I can see what still needs to be worked on. This stuff let dry overnight. While I didn't record it, I applied another layer of Bondo, waited 2 hours, and then started wet sanding. This uses, I think, 180 grit sandpaper. I'm not sure. I just went to Lowe's and bought sandpaper and spray paint. I love Lowe's. Lowe's is so cool. Shout out to Lowe's. Please sponsor me. I went and sprayed the entire helmet with just a matte black spray paint primer. This is going to be the base of the paint job because I deemed it smooth enough to continue working. And after this, my outside work is done. So I brought it back inside to start taping. Taping is also kind of tedious. I don't really like to do it, but you know, it's kind of necessary. If you look at the original Trailblazer Scout helmet, it has like a satin sort of color on it. So I'm taping off the area that should still remain black. In a poll that I did, 9 of you guys said that you would want to see Helldivers, so I haven't found files for the rest of the armor, but if I do, I'll make a video on that. But my next video will either be a 501st Clone Trooper or a Scarif Trooper, so if you have any strong opinions about that, let me know in the comments. Here's that satin that I'm going to be spray painting on the front. The visor was like a gunmetal gray, and I didn't have any spray paint, so I just mixed up that acrylic with some silver and black. That was at like Joann's or something. So the thing about the Trailblazer is it's covered with a hood in the game. So I got the creative liberty to do whatever I wanted to the back. So the arches, I just did the gray. The visor material was an old COVID face shield. Very convenient. The one piece can last me 3 or 4 helmets. The eye holes on this helmet are so small that it barely used any of that material at all, and I just stuck it in there with some hot glue. The vent holes on the front, I just put some like pieces of cloth in there so it gives it some extra breathing room. And just to cover the holes, I used hot glue to secure those in. Hot glue is so awesome. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you come back for more. Please like and subscribe and comment what you'd like to see next. This is Imperial Forge Cosplay. Hope you have a great day. Bye.